My name is Pam Peebles, and welcome to our very first of many cocktails and crypto. So, I am one of your hosts for this evening. I actually have a few ladies with me tonight that I want to introduce to you. My friend Marilyn. We have Livy on the line, and we have Francis. And the purpose of um, crypto and cocktails, is to really just have a conversation about what's going on in the market, what's happening um, with crypto, how you can get involved, all of that fun stuff, especially with everything that's going on right now, because it's been wild out here in these digital streets. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and the importance of education and why you really need to educate yourself, and why now is the time to get educated. So without further ado, I'm actually, this is real bad because I actually set up cocktails and crypto, but my drink of choice tonight is actually mineral water because I'm in the middle of a fast. But I want to toast everyone that's here, because that means you've made a decision to learn and get yourself educated on crypto, and you are taking the next step. So salute.
Salute.
My mineral water. I don't know what y'all drinking, but hopefully it's stronger than mineral
Water.
Salute, ladies.
Yeah, salute. Hopefully you guys got something better than mineral water. But listen, I'm trying to get rid of my quarantine fluff. All right, so this is going to be an open conversation. We're going to be manning the chat, so you're welcome to. Okay, Livy, no problem. You're welcome to chime in and ask questions, raise your hand, or post in the comment section, and we will answer you as quickly as possible. So again, open conversation. We're just talking about what's going on out here in these crypto streets and how you can get involved, what you should be involved in, and how to make this work for you in your life. All right. So let's start off, and I'm going to ask my panelists, Francis and Marilyn, to just kind of jump in. But let's talk a little bit about the first thing. If you guys are brand new to crypto, Francis, you gave a real good description yesterday of what crypto is. Do you mind sharing that again?
Not at all. And I know you probably see the screen that says just Francis and it's black, but I'm here on camera above my picture, Pam. There's like 3 little dots. Sometimes you could spotlight so that the person who's speaking, it'll show. But if not, no big deal. Can you guys hear me?
Let me turn this back over to Marilyn and have her do it.
Okay, perfect. No worries. Well, welcome everyone. I hope that you have your perfect drink of choice. Honestly, I'm going to have some for you, Pam, because I have kids and this is like my break time. I'm hiding in the basement. Okay. So, so welcome everyone. My name is Francis. I actually could not even articulate a crypto conversation 6.5 months ago. So just know that if you're on here and you're just like, I don't even know what it is, I don't know what that means for me or my family, but I keep hearing about it. There's a reason why. And I want to tell you, it's also okay to not know any of it. So what is digital currency, right? It's exactly as the name implies, it's digital. And so maybe that's scary for you if you come from a space, of not using a lot of technology, because that is the story for some people. But I just want you to know that it's just the natural evolution of money. So my background is banking and insurance. I've spent all of my career in financial services. And whether or not we wanted to accept it, do you guys all remember we went from writing checks to online banking to, hey, while you're in today, let me tell you about this amazing app that you can download to your phone and even deposit checks. Then it was debit cards. And then you got the debit card with the chip. And if you've been using it, like I've been using mine, if you try to swipe it, it's going to say, please insert the chip. And so what we have to pay attention to is what is just naturally happening with our money. We're going digital. And the other truth about that is it's already here. If you go on congress.gov, they have an article that was tied to everything that's happening with COVID and the CARES Act and all this stuff. All US citizens were assigned a digital currency wallet. So you're probably on here again, like, what does that mean? So I want you guys to think about digital currency as technology, because that's essentially what it is. But whether we like it or not, technology is just taking over. I got phased out. I lost my job in December due to the pandemic, and I was replaced by a robot, like artificial intelligence. So this stuff is really already here. And so now we got to decide, okay, do I get on board and become an early adopter so that I'm not pushed into a space I really don't understand? And so I want you to follow me for just a second. When we were writing checks, you remember the little book where you kept account of everything? Hey, if I made a deposit, I'm gonna write it down. If I spent money, I'm writing it down. If I was missing 5 cents, I knew because I was keeping track. So with digital currency, it runs off of extremely advanced technology. You'll hear it referred to as the blockchain. What is the blockchain? It's literally just a ledger. And it's there for security. It's there for transparency. How many of you guys know that our US banking system is not built off of transparency? It's certainly not built to create wealth for us. We could leave $5,000 in the best money market and you won't even come out of that with 50 extra dollars. So when we think about what is digital currency, it's exactly as the name implies, it's digital. But one step beyond that, it's just technology, because digital currency or cryptocurrency, as you may hear it referred to as, doesn't mean, just Bitcoin or just Ethereum, some of the popular ones you hear about. It essentially just means technology. And so hopefully that makes a little more sense to you. The last piece I want to add before I hand it back over to Pam or to Marilyn is I want you to know that it's also an appreciating asset, right? Digital currencies are. So think about real estate, right? As a property's value goes up, likely the houses in the same neighborhood are probably going up in value too. So when we have a digital currency that's increasing in value, whatever you invest there is also going to move with the growth. So hopefully that explains a little bit better. But if you want a deeper understanding of the technology it runs off of, I encourage you to go watch a YouTube video. It's called The Rise and Rise of Bitcoin. I'll drop it in here as soon as I go on mute, but hopefully that was helpful to just kind of understand what is digital currency. And I will hand it over to you, Pam, or to Marilyn.
It was extremely helpful. I think, and Marilyn, I want you to chime in. I think, well, let me back up a little bit, because we just jumped in because this is literally, we're having drinks, or y'all are having drinks. I'm having water, but y'all are having drinks and enjoying yourself. But this is more of a laid back type of conversation. But I do want to introduce myself and then have Frances tell you a little bit more about herself, and Marilyn as well. But the way I got introduced to crypto was when it first came out. Honestly, I was probably one of the first people that heard about it when it was going for maybe a penny. Now, don't let me fool you. I didn't buy any. I just heard about it. I consider myself to be a very bright person, but when it came to this, I totally missed the boat, and I can admit to that. But I heard about Bitcoin was the first one that came out, and when I heard about, and I was told to get on it, and I honestly just didn't know what it was. I didn't have a clue. When they start talking about the blockchain and all that other stuff, I was so lost, and I chose not to get in. I was told about it several times when it was at a penny, 8 cents, $100, and I didn't get in any of those times. And I always say this number because it reminds me to stay focused on what it is I'm doing now. Had I got in early, I was told to invest just $1,000 when it was just pennies, and I didn't. It would be worth close to, I don't know what Bitcoin is going for today, but 450 million, somewhere around there. And so there are some realities to what's going on now. The reason why I decided to get started now is because I realized that in the next 3 to 5 years, we're probably not going to have money as we have known it all of our life, all of our adult life. Everything is going to be digital. And quite honestly, it's already digital. We're already using Cash App, and Facebook has a way for you to pay. We pay through PayPal, Stripe. I mean, there are so many different ways to pay someone, Zelle. And all of that is honestly digital money. No money is changing hands. And they're starting to phase out cash money. So it's going to be really interesting in the next 3 to 5 years. And I really feel like even though crypto has been out for a little over 10 years, it's still in its early phases of where it's going to go. So explaining that, Marilyn, I want you to jump in because Marilyn is a friend of mine who I've known for ever. We're showing our age, but we've known forever. And we've worked together on many, many projects. And when I first came to you, Marilyn, and started talking to you about crypto, what was your first thoughts?
I was already in the space where I'm the type person, I want to know what's going on in the world and I want to be able to keep up. And I just happened to be in a space where I wanted to learn. I didn't know if I wanted to learn Forex or crypto because I really didn't have a good understanding of what either one of them were. But once I got into that crypto space, I was frantically looking for somebody who could teach me how to do this and not charge me thousands of dollars and just leave me high and dry, And Pam inboxed me and she was like, do you know anybody who wants to learn crypto? And I was like, girl, me, put me in. I was already sold because my mindset was already there. Okay. I didn't know what I was getting into, but all I knew was I was getting ready to learn how to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrency. And I was also able to make a decision as to which one I wanted to focus on. So being in that crypto space, that was more appealing for me. And Pam will tell you, I'm up all night sometimes looking at information. And it also gave me the knowledge to just recently, I've been on this whole Robinhood tip because I found out that you only have 7 cryptocurrencies on Robinhood. A lot of people are starting out in Robinhood, and that's not where they should be because it's basically set up for investors who want to invest in stock. And if you are crypto minded, then you don't know that. And they only have 7. There's only 7 there. And then there's some features that you don't have access to. And, in my quest for knowledge as to how to also secure my money, because it's digital, it's out there floating around on the internet. I want to know that my money is safe. So being in this space, being in this community of women, of people who are crypto minded, it changes your mindset. It changes your company, the people you hang around, because listen, I'm trying to figure out how to make some money with this. What is this chart? What does this mean? If it's going up, is that good? If it's red, do I buy? When do I buy? What do I buy? And this space is giving me the knowledge to know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, not panic like today. A lot of people are panicking, because they don't know. They just woke up and saw red. And I was like, oh my God, Pam, my portfolio is down. But if I hadn't known what I know now, I probably would have been like some of those people who rushing off to try to sell. But I know that this is a sweet spot. You get in where you fit in and you wait for that rocket to launch again. That's the knowledge that I've gained from being in this community and having access to this type of knowledge.
Yeah, and Marilyn, the really crazy thing was we had talked about crypto a bunch of times, but I think like so many people, and this is not to discount any of the guys that's on here, but the statistics for women being in crypto was just very, very small. I mean, we're talking, a very minute number, less than 15%. And so it was really kind of difficult to get in and learn because not everybody was really providing good information. And so that's how we came about the Academy, but we're going to share that a little bit more later. But one of the things I really want to talk about, and I'm going to throw you in here, Francis, so we can just kind of have an open conversation, is what in the world is going on with the crypto market right now? Because I got to tell you, I have had more people message me today than ever before, just in a complete panic, wanting to know what's going on. And I would say half of them was like, should I buy? Should I sell? And meanwhile, I'm just out living my best life, not worried about a thing, trying to figure out how much more I can buy. And people are in a serious panic. So I'm hoping that you could shed a little bit of light with the folks on here tonight, because I'm sure that's why a lot of people, when they saw their portfolio go down several hundred or several thousand, they're like, well, they told me this crypto stuff was good and it was safe. What's happening? So what's happening?
All right. So this is like one of my favorite things to talk about because honestly, 6.5 months ago, I would have probably been the person that was like, oh no, I don't want to lose any more thousand, hundred, nothing, pennies at all. But the truth is, there are a couple of things that go into this conversation. So let me preface this, you guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I was once in my lifetime. I don't want to be her again, but I just want to tell you what we're doing and why. And then you can take that and kind of decide what does that look like for me. So a couple of things. I want to just briefly touch on something Marilyn said about Robinhood. It's not that it's not a good platform, you guys, but when we talk about cryptocurrency, we're talking about an entirely different market. We're talking about a market that already has trillions moving through it. Stocks are moving billions. They're just structured to pay you differently as well because they go off of companies' performance. So when we look at crypto, the easiest way to explain why we experience the changes we do in crypto is that we go off of supply and demand in the cryptocurrency world. So it's not the same. So I just wanted to just say that about Robinhood because it's not a bad platform, right? But with crypto, understand that no platform, I don't care who they are, if they're Robinhood or somebody else, they cannot give you access to cryptocurrency they don't physically own. And them as a platform, they do not own cryptocurrency, which is why you don't buy it on there because there's nothing to buy. You can take a position, but you're not buying anything. So just be careful when you're on these platforms. And if you really just don't know, this is why live help is really important. So let's talk about what's happening in the market because everybody's panicking. The media is telling you sell all your stuff. I'm not giving you financial advice, but let me tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not selling anything, not a thing, not a 0.0, nothing. I'm actually using this as an opportunity to buy the cryptocurrency that we know. Like you can pull up a chart and see that this is easily $100,000 coin. And this is the problem with the misinformation on the internet. It's not that people don't know what they're talking about, but people can only talk about it from their perspective, what they've done so far in cryptocurrency. Most of the time, it's not people with 8-figure portfolios telling you, we're in a bearish market, sell it all. And to not get too technical, you guys, bearish just means downward, bullish is an upward market, right? So right now, everybody's like, oh my gosh, Bitcoin was breaking 60,000 a couple of weeks ago, and now we're in the 30s? We may even see a 20-some thousand dollar Bitcoin, just to warn you guys. But the reason for that is not because it's going to crash and burn. It is too powerful because if you guys didn't know, Bitcoin is actually the one crypto that's coded as a currency. So that is a global currency that the whole world can use, which is why it's solving real life problems for countries like Zimbabwe, where they can't barely feed their family. So when we look at a cryptocurrency like that, or something like Ethereum, that's a technology project, we got to understand they don't just crash and burn. That's not what's happening. When you really start to learn about this space, this time last year, this exact same time, the exact same thing was happening. Not because we want people to lose money in the market, but because cryptocurrency does not move like other markets. So when we look at what's really happening, the best way to sum this up is this is a correction. When you start to learn about the markets, you'll start to understand that the way it moves, it has to create really low levels before it can take off to its new highest level. So Bitcoin is a perfect example. We just saw it at 60,000. And everybody was rejoicing, dancing. I'm going to ride a camel. And then now they're like, no, I'm selling everything. But guys, no, because if you understand this from a real investor's perspective, you're like, what? Bitcoin is literally on sale more than 50% right now. It's how I'm looking at it. Don't let this thing hit 22,000 because I'm going in for the kill, because I understand that no matter what's happening right now temporarily, this is the other mistake. Don't put your rent money in cryptocurrency. You can't, because you have to be looking at it for what you know is going to happen, not what's going to happen next week because I need my money on Wednesday. And that's the mistake that some people make when they enter the crypto world. You can't go into this like this, because there are projects that, you know, we're talking about right now that are a penny. They're going to 10 cents. Yep, I'm going to 10 times my money. I'm going to pull it out, but then I'm still dumping it in lifelong projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum. So when we look at what's really happening right now, the easiest answer I have for you is stay put, because we have to hit this lowest low, because when Bitcoin takes off again, we're easily going to 75,000, but we've got to hit this lower low because the market needs to test that level. And then from there, you'll never see it at 20,000 ever again. So it may not even make sense to you right now, but that's because most people don't know how to actually look at the market and search for these patterns, but they matter because crypto doesn't move like everything else. So hopefully that kind of explained, like, and statistically, I just want to add one last thing. Even if we look at stocks, for example, because people are more familiar with stocks, historically, any moment in the market that experienced correction, meaning these stocks had to come down and test their lowest low before they took off again, never stood in a bearish market, meaning we didn't continue going downward. So the same principle will still apply to all other markets if they're experiencing similar corrections. So hopefully that helps. I don't want to get too technical, but that's the easiest way I can say is, guys, stay put. I like discounts. I'm here for the discount right now.
You know what it reminds me of, and this is a horrible example, but it reminds me, like, years ago, you used to be able to go to Neiman Marcus or Macy's, and right after Thanksgiving, they'd have the sale, and you could get like $200, $300 pair of shoes for like $40, and everybody would be in there. That's what this reminds me of, because I literally didn't know what to buy today. I was so freaked out. I was like, I need to get a little of this, a little of this, a little of this. My husband was like, calm down. You need to sit down somewhere, because my initial thought was buy up the entire market. So, all right. So listen, let's talk a little bit. We have well, let me clear this up real quick. One of the things I think that was so important that Francis said was that the market isn't going anywhere. And to really kind of explain a little bit about what's going on and how all of this is happening, we have someone that we want to talk to you. Francis, will you do that honor for me?
Yes. So really quick, you guys, we have one of the most amazing queens of crypto on here who is going to come in and really just share this space, what it's done for her, and really just the way I look at her is she can really give it to me in such a real life example that it makes sense. So this is our amazing multiple 7-figure earner mentor, you guys. When I say queen of crypto, I mean queen in every sense of the word. She interprets crypto in a way I've never seen it. And I'm just grateful that we have the opportunity to hear from her. Wanda, I'm going to let you take it away. I know you're on a tight time schedule, but I am super grateful that you are here. I'm going on mute now.
Hey guys, I love this. You know, guys, I love talking about crypto, and I especially love talking about crypto with women. And if you guys can just make me co-host for a second, there's a couple of images I want to show. Listen, in a couple of minutes, it is not fair to think that I can give you a crypto education, but what I can do is I can give you a little bit of insight about why true investors are not shaking. What you see leaving the market right now is a wave of speculators and a wave of what I would like to call a gambler. And what is a gambler? A gambler is somebody who had no exit plan to begin with. And one second, they kind of were just buying it like, oh my God, I'm going to make money and it's going to go up and that'd be cool. And I think it's powerful to know the difference between being an investor and being a gambler. So let me give you an example. When I started buying real estate, one of the things I had to learn that even if my real estate went up, let's say I buy a property and within 2 years it doubled, it was not time for me to sell that property, because if I was to sell that property and pull the equity out, I would get hit with a massive capital gains tax. So I started going, wow, well, how do people make money off real estate? Hold on, I'm going to get punished for selling a home. And I started getting around people who had really made multiple 7 figures. And they said, hey, listen, you got to play the game. You keep a tenant in there for at least 5 years, you allow them to pay towards your mortgage and you're earning rent money. And because it's rented out, you get to depreciate everything on that property up to 26% a year. And after the 5th year, now you can sell it if you want, because now you can make that, pull that equity out without being punished. So I had to learn how to really move with this particular asset so it could benefit me. Now, imagine somebody who's like, I just want to buy a rental property and let's collect some rent. And they have no plan and none of that know-how. They might make some real drastic mistakes that cost them money. This is what we're seeing in the crypto market right now. So really briefly, you guys, I just want to show you a couple of photos to explain what is happening in the market. Can you see this? Let me know if y'all can see my screen.
Not yet.
Okay. How about now?
Yep, perfect.
Perfect. All right. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my marker here. So right here is when we saw Bitcoin go to 60,000 plus. Okay. Truth is, it should have not pushed past 60. All right. But what was happening is right around, let me mark this with the blue color, right around here, when it was surpassing 40, which is what we expected, people started to get excited. And what did we see? We saw a massive push up into the $60,000 range. Listen, if you were paying attention to the market cap is just fancy for how much money is in all of crypto. Okay, market cap was just under 2 trillion when Bitcoin was around 40,000. All right, cool. When Bitcoin went to 60,000, market cap surpassed 2 trillion. What does that mean? That means everybody was saying, oh my gosh, I bought it at 35, 40, and now it's at 45, 50. I'm making so much money. I'm making money. So all your friends started downloading Cash App and Robinhood, and that euphoria was reached. Now, when we talk about cryptocurrency, there's 4 emotions. There's hope, there's greed, there's fear, and then there's despair. Where it's blue, that's hope. Where it's red, that's green. That's greed. Greed. Now, so what do we call this? This next level that we're in, right here, fear. That's what we're experiencing. Right here, what's next? Desperation. This is why we believe that Bitcoin's going to continue to go down, you guys. And I believe we're going to see even a 20,000 something Bitcoin. Why? We're shaking out all the speculators. So what if someone like myself who has, I have a lot of money in crypto. I have a lot of money in crypto. I would not be getting on here and telling you this information just to to distract you. I'm holding my asset because you do not sell your assets. Now, if you just got into the market because you were hoping to just hit a lick and, turn $100 to 200, all right, cool. I've taken a much bigger risk in cryptocurrency. I have about 5 years of income put into Bitcoin. I am holding because the market, guys, is the only place in the world where we run from a sale. The market's the only place in the world where people run from a sale. Why? They just don't know any better. The reason people are selling is because they bought at the top. They bought at the top because of euphoria and gossip, not because it was actually a good move to buy at the top. And so I haven't purchased any new or acquired. There's been no acquisition of new coins for me since it surpassed 45, got to closer to 50. I stopped buying and I waited because we knew that a pullback had to happen. Let me give you a little other piece of information so you can get an idea. All right, previous Bitcoin dips. It went from $35 to $2 in 2011. It went from $220 to $7. It went from $1,000 to $200. It went from 20,000 to 3,000. It went from 64,000 today to 39,000. On average, this is a 61% retracement. Do you know where you're going to hear that number? 61%? You're going to hear it from traders because traders use something called a Fibonacci tool. I know I'm getting geeky. Basically, we watch when things come down 28%, 30%, 40%, 61. And then we're like, all right, what's it going to do? What's it going to do? 61, boom, bounce. So really quickly, let me show you. I'm going to start my screen sharing and I'm going to end with this. I just want to show you what it looks like on the charts because a lot of people don't know how to read a chart. If you're on this line and you don't know how to read a chart, reading a chart is about as drastic as learning how to read and write. Okay, ABCs and 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna turn my thing sideways. Can you guys see this sideways?
Yep, it's great.
Awesome. That red line, you guys, that was me. I put that red line there and I told myself, if it breaks this, if it breaks it, I'm done buying. That's why I stopped buying. I stopped acquiring new because I anticipated that. Listen, basically when it broke this red line, that's when I went, what you doing? No, we're supposed to be going up. So we have a break in the uptrend. Now, A lot of people are going, is this a reversal? Is this the end of Bitcoin's days? No, there's not enough time for me to teach you this. But what we saw was an impulse down. That's not how the market moves. If the market is truly coming down, you're going to have what they call lower highs, lower lows. That's not what happened. All we got was an impulse down, which tells me this is emotion. It's fear. That's all it is. I'm excited. You guys see where I have my yellow line down here at 29. We came all the way down to 29, 28,000. And so I just get excited talking about this, guys. You know, the best information I can give you is someone who's been able to become debt-free, have massive growth in her account. And I've even liquidated real estate to do this crypto move. And it's absolutely benefited me. The best thing I can tell you is really lean into real conversations. I have turned my social media off this week because I'm not going to let people emotionally rile me up in their poor decision making. This is where investors are starting to prove themselves and speculators are getting pushed out the market. And when they get pushed out the market, banks, institutions, hedge funds, and people like me are holding our coins and ready to buy it at the bottom. And I just want to encourage you, stay close to conversations like this, stay around people who know what they're doing and who have the results and who make some real sense. Their advice is not Mark Cuban said on Twitter. Stay around those people. So guys, I appreciate you. I love you. I'm jumping on another call. Francis, Pam, thank you so much. I love this. Crypto and cocktails. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you so
you,
much,
Wanda.
Wanda. Yes,
Bye,
thank
guys.
you. Pam, I'll give it back to you or Marilyn.
Let me unmute myself. Y'all know, you don't have to be an expert to tell other people because I still don't know how to work Zoom. Okay, so listen, we're not going to hold this thing up a whole lot. One of the things that I think is so important, if you are not already involved in a training program, go and learn this stuff. I mean, we're talking minimal investment. I can tell you for us, the investment to partner with us is less than $200 per month. Now, I say that, and I'm talking about just on crypto. I say that because this week I've had to have some very difficult conversations with people who tell me that they want to make 6 and 7 figures, but they're having a difficult time investing $200. And I can tell you, if you're having a difficult time investing $200, you are not going to be able to digest $1 million conversation. And that's just real talk. But this is not a market for speculators, just like Wanda said. And it's also not a market for the uneducated. And popping up in somebody's inbox trying to find out a quick tip is not going to lead you to the type of income that many of you are desiring to have. So just to wrap this up, I want to make an invitation. Francis, if you'll jump in for me.
Yep, I am going to share my screen. Oh, I think I have to have host.
Okay, let me do that right now.
Perfect, thank you. Y'all, I get so riled up and geeky with this kind of stuff. And it's so weird at first because I'm like, I won't lie and say I don't come from financial services. So some of the terminology is familiar, but crypto was not something that I was versed in at all. The banks teach you stay away from that digital money, but they're really the ones buying it up right now. So don't let the media fool you either. Go look up what the S&P 500 companies are doing. They're doing this, they're buying. All right, so I want to just share this flyer. And, you know, as Pam said, I really wish that there was a way for us to sum this up. Like Wanda said, it's unfair to really, you know, have you think that in an hour or, 45 minutes that we could really give you everything the world of crypto has to offer. Because the truth is, like Pam said, the world of crypto offers so many different income opportunities. People think that it's as simple as, let me buy some Bitcoin, panic when it's, moving downward, buy some more. It's so much more than that. So tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, the amazing Wanda Webb, you guys just saw her, her and her husband do crypto for real. And the craziest thing is they had no education before they got to this platform. But when you have 6 to 10 figure earners who specialize in this space, that's who you stick with. You can't stick with the person that's telling you what Elon Musk said on Twitter. That doesn't work out. So we just want to give you an invitation. We're going to talk about the crypto platform a little more in depth as far as how do we even get to the point where we can recognize that this is not an opportunity to shake by any means. I'm planting my flag, and her line's at 29,000. Mine, I have 4 lines from 22 to 29. And if it hits any and every one of those lines, I'm buying again. But I wouldn't have known that without formal education, experience, and live mentorship. Because you can talk to me all day. I'll be on a Zoom for an hour, but show me why I'm doing this and what this means for my wealth. And just to piggyback off of what Pam said, we just have to be really honest. Sometimes we have requests with very unrealistic expectations. There's no way you'd be able to digest a 7-figure conversation if a 3-figure decision is considered a problem for you, because what'll continue to happen is that 3-figure decision, committed decision that you have to make will always be a 3-figure problem. So you just got to decide, do I want it to be different? And if so, feel free to join us at 9 p.m. Yes, Pam, energy is real. You can't say universe, God, whatever I believe in. Hey, I know that I'm destined for more. I know there's a lot of wealth out here, but then I'm like hanging on to not even $200, but I spend a whole lot of money that never pays me anything in return. So Pam, I'll let you unmute, or Marilyn, if you ladies have any last minute thoughts, I'll leave this flyer up here. If you guys want to screenshot it, take a picture. That way you have the link. It's hermoneyteam.com, 9 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to bring a friend, family member who really needs this conversation too.
Not much more to add other than I think it's real important that anybody who's considering getting into the crypto space as an investor, really, I mean, I'll tell you this, in the last few months that I have been really diving into crypto, I've learned so much. But every time I hear Wanda speak, I realize how much I don't know. Guys, I would take this opportunity, especially right now, I would take this opportunity to chime in at 9 p.m. and really learn what's going on, because we're talking about the difference of you being able to make a few dollars by listening to other people, or getting in, learning, and being able to make tens of thousands and possibly millions. The advice and the education that I've received is bar none the greatest, and it's been a lot that I've went through. So I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to my co-hosts, Marilyn and Francis. I'm just going to leave this up here, and I also put it in the chat to join us at hermoneyteam.com at 9 p.m. This is the year for it, and we're watching and witnessing something that honestly is never going to happen again. Never, ever, 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 ever. And for those of us who know and have the opportunity to jump in and pick up some more cryptocurrency, I'm telling you, the end of the year, we're going to be dancing around like crazy people. But for those of you who have not had an opportunity to get in yet, the beautiful part is it's not too late. You still have the opportunity to get in. You still have the opportunity to do something, but you need to act soon, and you need to get in with the right people. Mentorship is so important, y'all. So have a great evening. Thank you guys so much. Marilyn, anything that you want to add before we chime out?
Just one last thing I just wanted to say. I wasn't going to say anything, but then I was thinking, go ahead and say it. None of us here are experts, by no means possible. We are still learning. I just learned something today that I did not know yesterday. And I didn't have to go to the academy to learn it. I just changed my community. I can have that conversation with these 6- and 7-figure earners because they're teaching me. And I will say, just for me, this is one of the best, because I have 2 college degrees, not using either one of them. This is the best training. This is the best information I've ever had in my life. I literally started making money within 3 days of just learning, following along, doing what they told me to do. And it's already paid me back over tenfold. So I just want to say, Think about you, think about your family, think about your future. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and you know what? It really does come down to that, quite honestly. And if y'all don't see me on Spotlight, it's because I have no clue how to work Zoom. But that's okay, y'all can hear me. But it really does come down to making some decisions. And I'll be very, very honest. This decision, even with the market going down, it didn't freak me out before, and I've invested before, it would have freaked me out. I mean, I would have been a nervous wreck. But my portfolio is still up, even despite
Yeah.
everything that's gone on, it's still up. And so dive in, join us again at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing these every week. And as the market is shifting and changes, we will definitely be talking about it and everything that's kind of going on, because we could sit here and talk about this forever. So we appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, please get back in touch with the person who put you on here tonight. It's very, very important that you do that. And we will see you all at 9 p.m. Tonight, and then again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for Coffee and Crypto at coffeeandcrypto.info. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.